Buongiorno team, Happy New Year 2025. We are going out for a run in what can only be described as fucking misery. Grey scales, wind, and it's that wet rain, isn't it? It's that fucking fine wet rain. So we're gonna be piss wrapped. Currently fueled on 2 coffees and probably 1 too many glasses of whiskey. Celebrating the new year in style. Told ya, wet, windy, miserable, and not dry. With 4 fucking legends with human beings. Mr. Douglas, Mr. Bovero Glass, and then Mr. Glover the Ginger Pirate, which you've all too seen familiar before. You've all too seen familiar. That makes no English. You're all too familiar with. But yeah. On the top end, check out this review, by the way. Listen, I know it's all a shot, but what a day to start running. New Year's Day. Running and recording is not recommended, but we're at the top of Caesar's Camp on our New Year's Day run with the lads and dads Snail Trail Run Club. Wait till you see this. Honestly, I know it's foggy and stuff, but on a sunny day, nothing beats running up here. One hell of a view when it isn't foggy. And now we go back down. Don't be scared of it. Come on, cows. Thank you. Top of the morning to you. Bye, Daisy. There's one problem with cows and horses. You never know what they're thinking. And I'm honestly petrified of them. Not petrified, just extremely worried about walking behind their arse. So Stu and I decided to clap, try and get rid of the cows. Didn't work very good. If you don't know this human being, I used to serve many moons ago. Now he's a proper civvy. Although you wouldn't think of it with my fucking beard and his almost clean shaven face. Top boy, Mr. Douglas, top boy. Run done. What we did, about 9k, wasn't it? Yeah. 9, 10k. Nice little easy, I was going to say Sunday morning, but it's not Sunday morning. It's nice new, what day is it?
Wednesday. And it's
nice Wednesday morning.
It's a moist one, I know.
And it was wet. It was lovely though. No better way to start the day. Hopefully you're getting after 2025. So now, time to go and devour coffee. We've got to have cake, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Got to have cake. So
maybe a chocolate twist. Maybe a croissant.
Oh, mate. What, 2 balling? Doubling up? Whew. I don't know. Let's go break bread with a team. Go and break bread with the lads and dads Snail Trail Run Club. Peace! And we are back. So, little bit of a coffee post-run. And of course, the obligatory bacon roll, which there's something about bacon after a run on a roll, game check. However, here's a question for you. Are you a brown sauce type of guy or are you a red sauce type of guy? It's either HP or it's ketchup. Which one are you going for? And I am judging anybody that puts it in the comments. So yeah, it was a great little run. We managed to tick off around about just under 10k, held a relatively good pace. It was wet, it was windy, it was moist, but it was incredible. And I'm gonna share a little bit about my goals this year with you as well. But one of my big goals this year is to build the Catalyst Collective Running Club community, AKA the Dads and Lads Snail Trail Running Club, because of everything to do with men's mental health. 1 in 8 blokes suffer with some sort of mental health condition, which is wild. Over 35% of psychological therapies in the NHS come from men. The rates are skyrocketing right now with male mental health issues, with suicide rates and everything in between. And it is one of my goals to get men talking. I've been thinking for a long time how I could do it, and the only way that I know I can bring those two together is to use what I love, which is fitness. And that's the whole point around it. That's why the running club is there. It's why it started. And it's been good so far. So one of my big goals this year is to get 50 people on a run, on a weekend, all together, having a great time. That's one of my biggest goals. And I'm going to be pushing for that. So stay tuned. In the meantime, I need to cook up some grub. It's lunchtime. And a bacon roll just isn't tying me over. So I need to get a little bit of food in the system. So let's go make some cooking. Let's get it on. Now then, team, if you listen to the last vlog, you'll know I'm not one for eating before I go out and train. So, 1 cal spray. Get some eggs going on here. Nothing quite like a fried egg with a nice runny yolk on an incredible seeded bloomer with some smoked salmon slices. Special one. These are really good, and we got them dirty cheap as well. €2. No, €2? Where the hell did I get euros from? £2.39 for 2 packets of these. Buzzing. This is the current cooking pan condition. You can see there is a bend on this side. This is the egg pan. But my wife used it a few weeks ago and it caught fire. And she had to throw the pan out the door. It got bent. So this is what we're working with right now. Everybody's got that pan in their house where it's the best pan for cooking eggs. That was a terrible crack by me. Terrible. That might just be up there as one of the worst cracks I've ever done. That is how it's done. 4 eggs. Lovely jubbly. Cooking up nicely. No stick. If you don't use non-stick pans, who even are you? Got to have a non-stick pan. It's got to happen. You come to my house, you know who the chef is in here, by the way. And it's not me, my wife. Rachel's very good at cooking. See, as you can tell. And the dog goes wild. Note to self, don't spray too much oil in the pan. Otherwise, you set it off. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 120 grams of salmon, bit of salt and pepper, 4 eggs fried in a little bit of olive oil, that 1 cal spray, and then 2 slices of seeded bloomer. Bellissima! Wonderful! And I'm gonna devour it. Right, team, let's switch gears and talk all things goal setting. Now, I do not profess to be an expert at this at all. I've just found the way that's helped me, it's helped my clients, it's helped my athletes, and it's helped a lot of people that I've come into contact with. And we all know New Year's Day, New Year's week, whichever stage you're at right now watching this, or even at the start of 2025, this will be something that you can use and you can leverage as you go into the new year. And hopefully it cuts through all of the fluff, all of the BS that you see online, and it gives you a practical strategy that you can follow as you go into the new year. Now, you can do this any which way. I use an A5 notebook. It works well for me. I know people that use A4 notebooks. I know people that write it on whiteboards. I know people that use those whiteboard sheets that you can stick across your doors and your walls and everything like that. It's all about finding a strategy that works for you. That's the most important thing. Now, I have something that's quite personal, and it's a small little thing that I do that just gives me a little bit of a guide and a steer. If any of you have read things like James Clear's Atomic Habits, you've read things like Psycho-Cybernetics, you've done any of the Daily Stoic stuff with Ryan Holiday, they talk about these identities and these behaviors and understanding what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. And I'm a big, big believer in that. But on the first page of any notebook that I write when I come to journal, some people see it as a morbid number. It's absolutely not a morbid number. But what it does do is it identifies a big, big thing that I need to focus on when I go into the next 365 days. And in big, bold letters, I've written 19,331. Let me give you a little bit of a closer look. Now, it might sound really morbid, but this just gives me a little bit of a sense of direction. And that's if I'm lucky enough to even hit 90 years old. But 19,331 in big, bold letters just tells me how much time I've got left to make an impact and make a change. It's a little bit of a wake-up call, and seeing those numbers just keeps me focused. It's something I can draw back into every single day. And that's me currently writing this when I set out and started designing my journal and my goals for 2025. This was me at 37 years old and 13 days. My birthday was on the 17th of December. So let's talk about how we can use that more intentionally. Other things I'll write on this page are values and morals and identities that I align to and I believe in. And then I'll also write quotes that have already struck true with me, and you'll see them dotted over here. And I'll fill this whole page with quotes as the year goes on. And then I'll also fill this double blank page spread with little quotes and phrases as the year goes on as well. So I use a blend of 2 different strategies. And the first strategy I want to show you is what we call the goal setting pyramid. And it's a really easy and effective way that you can just outline what it is that you're doing in some key areas. Now, if we take a pyramid and we break it down into 3 equal points, we look at those 3 corners on that pyramid that matter the most to us. Now, for me, that's work, career, and profession. It's rest and time with family, etc. And then it's play. And I want to explain what each of those 3 pillars mean when it comes to setting out your goals. Now, when we talk about the work pillar or the work strand, we're talking about things that align to your profession. They talk about your business. We talk about personal development, things and goals that you want to get after and actions that you want to take to professionally develop in your career or whatever is important to you when you think of the phrase work. The second of those 2 pillars is rest. Now, for me, this is all about healthy body, healthy mind, and ultimately building out your health and wellness focused goals that we're going to take you forward in maintaining whatever it is that you're doing that year. This could be things from losing weight, it might be setting strength goals, it might be getting outdoors, it might be adventure, it could be any number of different things. When we talk about the rest pillar, we're talking about things that you do in your time that allow you to be the healthy, fighting fit individual that you are for you and your family. And then the third pillar is all around play. Now, this is to do with hobbies, things that you want to see, things, adventures that you want to go on, maybe even holidays that you want to go and achieve. This is about identifying with the things that bring you joy and happiness. This is all about finding things that you really, really want to do within that play pillar. And it couldn't be any simpler. We write down 1 to 5 goals in each of those pillars. And then you can start getting after what the actions are that you need to take and the processes that you need to have in place in order to achieve those targets. Now, I mentioned a blend of 2 different strategies. And the second one that I like to look at is what we call our performance playbook. Now, this is broken down into some key areas. And if you've seen any of my social media handles, if you watch the previous videos that we've done, if you just drop me a DM and say something along the lines of Performance Playbook or Playbook, I will send you a copy of this playbook for free across to you, and you can just have a look through. You can go through it, no strings attached. It just gives you a little bit of direction, a little bit of focus, a little bit of guidance on what it is that you can do over the course of this year, especially when it comes to setting goals. Now, we're using a framework with people like Ali Abdaal, and he talks about things like these quarterly quests or these 90-day sprints. And I love doing this every single quarter. We've done it for years inside of the Catalyst Project, where we take athletes, take our clients, and every single quarter, just before it starts, we itemize out all of the identities, habits, behaviors, actions, processes, and the goals that we're getting after for the next 90 days. So it gives you some direction and clarity on what you're chasing. Now, when we talk about the first step, identities and behaviors, it's going back to what I've written in the book. It's values and identities that you kind of want to align to. What do you want to be known for? What impact do you want to make? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody who is starting a YouTube channel? That's what I've tried to do, and I'm trying to start now. But rather than trying to start a YouTube channel, I have taken on the identity of becoming a creator. I want to be, and I am a creator. I want to be somebody who creates content that's valuable, that goes beyond the masses of all of the health industry, fitness industry jargon that you often see, and give you something that's straight to the point, it's direct, and it allows you to take action with it. So I've taken on the identity and the behavior of being a creator. And that's what's really, really powerful when you start putting pen to paper with this. Other identities that I align to, when we talk about these behaviors too, we talk about being healthy. I am somebody who wants to not only be healthy, but live healthy. I want to be somebody that embodies health and vitality. I want to show up and be a role model and a leader to other people that are looking to start their health and fitness journey. So an identity and a value and a behavior that I find really powerful for me is health. And that's the first step we take in the Performance Playbook. We break this down so that we can find out and figure out what those are. Now, the second stage we look at is habits and processes. Now, you can't instill good habits without understanding what habits you're lacking. So we start with a reflective process. What habits have you been missing over the past year and you know you can add into your day-to-day life that's going to move you closer to the goal that you want to get after? What type of things do you need to start doing more of and even tracking them? The problem when it comes to process and behavior-based goals or outcome-based goals is people don't gamify the process and they get very, very bored. And it's not necessarily true. Yes, you can do things for 30 days and eventually they'll become a habit and they're ingrained. But no, because you still need to practice discipline and you still need to show up each day to do those things in order for you to achieve that goal that you set out to achieve. And that then allows me to go into the third point, which is what are the actions and processes that I'm using and putting in place to do that. These are what we call the 0.1% changes. Big shout out and plug to Gareth Timmins, an incredible book on becoming the 0.1%. Doing these small, really tiny little things that you can do every single day that take you that little bit closer to your goal. Let me give you an example. Loads of people for the first 3 or 4 weeks of January start taking up running. And we get to this second or third Friday, which is known as Quitter's Day in the new year. Why do people quit? Well, they quit because they've tried to do it too quickly, too fast, and they've added running into their routine and it's just too much, it's overwhelming. Well, what if you started small? What if you ran every day for 10 to 15 minutes of that whole year? That's a damn sight more than if you just committed to it in a sprint phase for 15 to 20 days and then you fell off the wagon at the end of it. So when it comes to the performance playbook, the focus that we have is we go all the way through the identities and behaviors that you want to align to first. Who are you? What do you want to do? Or who do you want to be in 2025? When you've got that, we then identify the habits and the behaviors. What habits can you practice? What things do you need to instill? And when you've done that, you look at those 0.1% daily actions that you can take every day that align to the behaviors, the habits, and then the identity that you shape. And it's all about reverse engineering this process to help you get to where you want to get to. So here's what I want you to do, a really simple action that you can take. First of all, you can drop me a comment, let me know, message me with the word playbook and I'll send you across the framework that you can use. The second thing you can do is just take 10 minutes today and write out over the next 3 to 6 months, write down 3 to 5 goals that you want to achieve in work, career, profession, and business. Write down 3 to 5 goals that you want to achieve in terms of play, in joy, in happiness, etc., holidays. And then write down 3 to 5 goals that you want to get after in terms of rest, in terms of fitness, health, mindset, whatever those things might be. And then maybe use some of those frameworks from the Performance Playbook that are going to help you achieve those goals. But statistically, people that write down their goals, people that reflect on them on a weekly process, and it's not a big deep dive every single week that you've got to do, but if you write them down and you reflect on them weekly, you are far more likely to succeed on achieving those goals because you are constantly putting them at the forefront of your mind. And that is the whole reason why I have those days written in the front, the quotes written in the front, and the big goals that I'm getting after, and even photos and vision boards that I want to use in order to manifest those things that I want in my life. So hopefully you found that useful and you can actually make 2025 an epic year. As always, if you found it useful, drop me a comment below. If you like the content that I'm putting out, don't forget to like and subscribe. I genuinely appreciate it. It's helping me embody that identity of becoming more of a creator and helping people with health and fitness and well-being and vitality. And here's to making the most out of the next 19,331 days and making sure the next 365 days are absolutely bang on. Peace.